What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Jennifer Delgado and I am a holistic nutritionist who specializes in things like gastritis, LPR, GERD, reflux, heartburn, the list goes on. One unique thing about me is that I have actually gone through all of these symptoms. A lot of the things that I talk about I have gone through, and I've been sharing my journey for a couple years now. With that said, I often get messages from a lot of people saying that they have non-stop reflux. This is reflux that no matter what they're doing, no matter what medication they take, it still seems to come back up. And today I want to share with you something that I recently learned about non-stop reflux. And it was something that took me a long time to come into a conclusion with, but I'm so glad that I was able to do my research throughout all of it and figure out a different avenue. Because a lot of the times when we think of reflux, we think, oh, it's just because I eat a lot of acidic things. I just need to stop eating acidic things. And that's not always the case. And as I've mentioned before, a lot of the times the reason why people have reflux is not necessarily because they have an overproduction of acidity in their stomach that's coming up their esophagus. A lot of the times it's the opposite. It could be because of the low stomach acidity and you just need to replenish that, and that will cover some of those symptoms and discomfort that are happening. However, for some people, the discomfort just keeps happening no matter what supplement they take, what new diet happens, whether you work out, whether you don't work out, whether you're overweight, whether you're underweight, the reflux is still there. It turns into a different type of reflux where it's not only now aggravating the throat, now aggravating the sinuses, you're getting a lot more headaches, now you're getting maybe like ear aches as well. This non-stop reflux can actually have to do with hiatal hernias. It took quite a bit of doctors and studies, endoscopies, for me to realize that I ended up having a hiatal hernia. A very, very, very small one that you can barely tell, but I literally had to go out of the country in order for me to find an actual doctor that would listen to me and that would actually take me into account and take my whole history into account, right? Without shutting me up within the first 30 seconds of us talking and then just giving me omeprazole or some type of medication. While that I know that is not the case with a lot of doctors, I have had my own experiences and I'm very open about it, because I think that a lot of the times we are not listened to as patients. We're just kind of pushed aside and given medication, and that's about it. And I knew something was wrong because the things that used to help me back then and that used to keep everything at bay, my gastritis and my reflux at bay, were no longer helping me. Now, if you remember, one of the reasons why I got gastritis was because I underate a lot, I worked out a lot, I pushed myself very, very hard. I wasn't taking in the right diet, and I was a very stressed person, so that caused a lot of gut issues for me. So the symptoms of hiatal hernia are hoarseness in your voice, chronic coughing, postnasal drip is a big one for a lot of people. There were times where I was eating and I literally just felt liquid just rush down my sinuses, and it was quite embarrassing. Again, it was something that was manageable, but I knew that there was something more. There was something wrong. What a hiatal hernia is that it can actually push up your stomach into your diaphragm almost, and that can really just cause a lot of reflux symptoms. And it can also manifest into something called LPR, or having LPR-like symptoms, laryngopharyngeal reflux. And LPR irritates the throat and can actually affect the voice box. There were days that I just could not talk. I would choke. There was a lot of mucus in my throat. There was a lot of mucus also, I felt like, in my sinuses for some reason. And it was just a very interesting experience because it was just completely different to what I could manage before. I knew before that if I had reflux, I could manage it. I had it down to a protocol for myself and what worked for me, and it just worked. So if I ever just happened to eat something that just wasn't agreeing with me and I had some indigestion and some reflux, I was able to fix it, and within like a day or two I was a lot better, and that was it. But with a hiatal hernia, if that stomach keeps being pushed up and if there's just a misalignment in the body will actually react in terms of symptoms. That can be confused with things like GERD. So a lot of the times when you want to work on your hiatal hernia, on bringing the stomach back to its original position, it does take quite a bit of work and quite a bit of consistency. A lot of people, whenever they have a higher level of a hiatal hernia, there's different levels, different types. they have to get surgery, or they are given the option for surgery. In my opinion, if it's small enough to where obviously there's no need for surgery at all, it's way better to just try to control it yourself. One way that can be done is chiropractic care, and there are a lot of chiropractors who are very good at aligning your body, and almost showing you also some exercises that you can do in order to bring that stomach back down to its original position. Now, my take on this is that hiatal hernia, a lot of the times, especially for me at least, came because I have always been the type of person that sucks in their stomach a lot. My whole life, when I was younger, I was overweight, and from very early on, I would always tuck my stomach in. I would always hold my stomach together. I would always contract it, and that would obviously, when you contract your stomach, it obviously causes it to come back up, especially if you have a hiatal hernia, right? And if you have like that sphincter is just loose enough to where the stomach can just go right through, then it's easier for it. And also, whenever I'm stressed, what I tend to do is I tend to hold my breath a lot, and it's something that I didn't notice until very recently. And another way to care for hiatal hernia is also through diaphragmatic breathing. It's very, very important for people who have hiatal hernia and strengthening that muscle. What you really want to do is relax your abdominal cavity so that it separates itself from the diaphragm. You really want to work on the vagus nerve as well. It's connected to your head, it goes down to your neck, and it goes all around down to your body, to your gut, all of that. And that is very important too to take care of. So if it's constant reflux that you've noticed within you, it'd be good to look into getting an endoscopy to get checked for a hiatal hernia, or looking back into your own paperwork from when you have done an endoscopy, let's say if it's recently or something like that, and seeing if there is a very small hiatal hernia. That's why I think it's so important to look at healing holistically, and that's why I have been such a big advocate for holistic healing in my own practice, in helping people feel better in terms of gastritis, gerd, reflux, all of that. For some people, maybe they just need to supplement a little bit more. For some people, maybe they just need to heighten their acidity in their stomach, and that will close up the sphincters. For some people, maybe they just need to let go of some trauma. For some people, it might be everything. And then there are some people who have a very small hiatal hernia that maybe wasn't noticed in the endoscopy, or that maybe hasn't been diagnosed, and it is then that it is very important to look at exactly what is happening, find sort of like a root cause approach, or find the different avenues that you can take and try them out and seeing which one works best for you. But yeah, so if you do not have any type of hiatal hernia, and you know this for a fact, and you know that when you do make a change to your diet, everything goes fine, and you know your reflux definitely goes down. And if you need more ideas for general reflux and gastritis meals, then you should definitely try to check out my gastritis and acid reflux meal plan that I have. I have it linked down below in the description. I've had this for quite a while. A lot of people have downloaded this and have bought this, and I think it's definitely a really, really good investment. You not only get meals, but you get foods that you should eat, foods that you shouldn't eat in the time that you are trying to heal, and you're also getting quite a bit of more information on things that you can do, alternative things that you can do, especially if it feels like nothing else is working. Things that you can apply, foods that you can implement into your everyday that can really help you out. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe to get more videos just like this one, and comment down below what you think of all this. If you have been diagnosed with hiatal hernia, if you haven't, I'm definitely feeling a lot better from when I first was diagnosed and really trying to deal with it, because it was very confusing for me. And now I'm so glad that I get to share this with you. And yeah, so lots of blessings. Love you guys, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye.